All right, picking up from part four. This is the rig in part five. Fully rig Chibi robots is this is for um, rigid body animation. So the rig is for mechanical robot, the works. Okay, so let's kind of pick up from what's missing from part four. I think I did not parent the eyes first and the lid. Okay, so let's do that real quick. So I will, but let's scale the bones first. So I will leave all the controllers. So I'm going to select all the controllers for the IK controllers. So both hand controller and elbow, foot controller and knee controller. Okay, so uh, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 controllers. Those are what we're going to be animating in IK. So I will do a control I, but before I do that, let me turn on my screencast. Okay, I'm going to do a control I to invert my selection, and I'm in pose mode right now. Okay, and I'm going to do a control alt S so that I can scale those bones. Because it's a bendy bone, much smaller, and then we're only seeing, or what's going to be big will be the controllers. Okay, and another one here is I'm going to go back to object mode. Let's go to wireframe here real quick. I want to select the eye lid. Let's see here. The eyelid minus the... All right, so the eye and the eyelids, okay? So I'm going to shift click now the bone. All right, so let's go to a solid mode here. All right, or X-ray mode right here. All right, and then I'm going to shift click the bone, go to pose mode, select the bone where I want the selection of the object selection to be the parent. So it will be the neck. Actually, that's a typo right there, or a mistake on the naming. This should be the head. All right. So I will be selecting the neck here, or the head bone. Okay. Control P, and then we will parent it to bone. So that means when let's just make sure here that I'm out of that mode. When we go to pose mode and select the neck or the head bone, should be the head bone. When we rotate this, the eyes and the eyelid, they follow. All right. So another thing that we need to do is we need to turn off the visibility of the subdivision surface modifier so that we get better performance. Okay, kind of like having a proxy where you're animating the low resolution. So I'm simply dialing in the viewport. When we render, it's still going to be the high res look. Okay, so we will be zeroing out the level viewport for the subdivision surface. So I'm going to go to the big ones right here so that we can get better performance. Okay, so this one 0 here as well. And I know on the body right here and the arms, just so that we get more frame rate when we animate. But the render is still on 2, so you'll still get that high-res render. This is just on the viewport. Okay, the claws right here. All right, and then legs. I'm also kind of checking each one if I actually miss a subdivision surface on this. It looks like that'll be it right there. So I will save this as a 1 right here so that we can go back to the previous one without them being what they are. missing, right? So, all right. So now we can animate this one. So March time is what we'll do. So it will be walk forward and 12 frames per step. Okay. So let's change our end to 25. So that gives us a 1 to 13 and then 14 to 25 for the other leg. Okay. We're also going to switch to the animation tab so that we can preview this here. Okay, what it should look, and then here we can animate, and but we're going to turn on an overlay here because it's easier to select sometimes here. Here we're going to stay on the flat. Okay, and we're also going to get a grid, a plane, so that we have a floor. All right, so when the character walks, let's go right here, and he's not floating in the air. I'm going to zoom in, make sure that it's positioned in here. All right, and let's see, that should be good enough. Let's kind of move it a little bit forward, GY. All right, so let's go to the right here. So you're only animating foot controller, knee controller, hand controller, elbow controller, and the tail. And then we're going to add all the secondary motions after. All right. So let's first kind of position this. I didn't put a controller for the body. We're just going to select the body one when we're in pose mode. And that's actually, let's make that kind of big, because we do need to select Control Alt S. Yep, did I select it? I want to make sure that that one is selected. Okay, let me go to wireframe right here. I'm in X-ray. Control Alt S. Oh, sorry. Control Alt S. All right, we'll make that a little bigger so that we can easily grab it. All right, so now we're ready to animate. Okay. So it's just a simple marching time, 12 frames. So on frame 1, we're going to first position this one, all right? So the body here. I'm going to use my tool, all right? So you could actually see it. And let's turn on our screencast here. Okay, so it's on. All right, so we're going to move the body forward and drop it. Okay. And then, so we're going to animate the right leg forward. So the right leg forward. Okay, so we're going to kind of leave it like that. We're not going to rotate the foot yet. We're going to make it, as simple as we can right here. All right, so that's the position for the leg. Okay, and let's take care of the arms. Okay, so I'm going to go to number 7 here, which is the top. So we do have the hand right here, and I'm just going to kind of position that kind of over here for now. Okay, and the other hand also. Okay, and then we're going to get the elbow and kind of fix that by dragging it kind of outside. All right, so we're just kind of positioning the arms right here. Okay. Okay, so that's what we have. All right, so now let's lower them down. Hand first. There we go. So let's go to the front right here. So we're just kind of setting it up. Okay, right there, and a little bit more. And not too far from the body. Okay, so since this is the right leg forward, so it'll have to be the left arm forward, the opposite, and then we'll move that back right there. All right. Okay, so that should be our initial position. Okay, so now we got to keyframe them. So we got to select the so want to make sure here that this thing is on the ground right here. and that one as well. All right, let's take a look. All right, should be good enough for now. All right, so we need the foot controllers, knee controllers, hand controller. So I'm just shift clicking them, the elbow, and yeah, we will animate that later. Okay, so and the body. Okay, so all of those needs to be keyframe right now in frame 1. Okay, press I, location. All right, so they're all keyed right there. Okay, so since we're doing marching time, we're going to go to frame 13 and we'll do the exact opposite right here. Okay, so we're going to move the body forward right there. Okay, I'm going to select the knee, the foot controller, which is the left leg. Move that forward. Okay, move the body back a little bit. Okay, so there's that. So now we got to position the hands right here. So now it's the left foot forward. So the right hand should be forward right here. So we're going to move that forward like so. Okay. Maybe not too much. All right, I'll move that a little bit right here. And then the left hand right here, maybe lower that a little bit. Okay. All right, so we got those. So now you got to keyframe those. Let me see here. There's our ground. Are we on the... Okay, this one needs to go up a bit. All right. Let's check this one. All right, it's fine where it's at. Okay. So now we got to keyframe those also. So select foot controller, knee controller, hand controller, elbow controller, body. Okay, press I, location. All right, so if we slide this now, there's our walk right there. Okay, so to make this a complete kind of walk forward right here, we're going to have to go to frame 25 and then move the body forward and then the right leg to go forward as well. Okay, so we're going to go here and we're going to drag the body like so. This one right here. Just want to make sure it's same height right there. All right, so the right leg went forward. All right, right there. And now the left arm. Okay, and then the other arm forward a bit, lower. Okay. All right, so that's on frame 25. So let's just select all the controllers now, and we got to keyframe them. So elbow, hands, knee, foot controller, and the body. Okay. All right, we're going to press I and then location. So now it looks like a slide right here, but there's our walk forward right there. Probably have to work on the knee also, but that's what we have right now. Okay, so it's really simple, only the controllers. 1, frame 13, and then 25. So now we're going to go in between. All right, so we're going to go to frame 7 right here. We're going to do the passing, all right? So the one that's staying on the ground here is the right foot. So this will be lifted up on frame 7. So I'm going to go to frame 7 right here. I'm going to get the foot right here, which is the left foot. Okay, we want to make sure it's the left foot. We're going to drag that up a little bit. Okay, and the body up. Okay, not too stiff like this. but just a little bit bend on that knee. This is the passing, so we're gonna move that a little bit back right here, and then we could add some rotation later, but for now that's all we're kind of doing with the hands right there. I mean with the foot right there. So the body and just the left foot got keyframe here, so I'm gonna select just those, and I'm gonna do location. Okay, and by the way, I've been should have switched that to global, but it's fine. All right, so there it is. Okay, so we just added the body right there and the left foot. All right, there it is. All right, we got to do the same thing for the other foot. Let's take a look at the hands. Are they on the passing? Okay, I guess right here the this hand on frame 1 could use a little bit of going back a little bit. Just a little bit right there on frame 1. Okay, I'm going to keyframe that. Press I. Location. Okay. All right, so that's I think a little better. Okay, and right here this hand is a little bit back. All right. All right, so now it landed. So this foot now needs to go up in passing. All right, so that would be frame 19 right here, frame 19. Let's move that up a little bit just so that we could see that's the foot we're manipulating. Then the body for sure needs to go up with the knee slightly bent right there. Okay, we'll move this one here a bit, just kind of passing. Okay, so just this right foot and the body, just those two got manipulated on. Whoop, should be 19, so let me move that by accident. Okay, let me move those up. Just the body. Okay, and then the right foot. Okay, just on passing. So body and right foot, press I, location. Okay, gets left behind right there. It's probably right here. We're gonna have to start adding some, see that kind of, it got stiff right there. Okay, we're gonna have to start animating the knee controller after. But for now, it did what it's supposed to. Okay, let's take a look so we can start adding the secondary motions here. Let's look at the leg first. Okay, that looked like it worked. Okay, what about the arm? A little funky on that elbow right there. Okay, so we're gonna have to kind of fine tune those elbow on the secondary motion. All right, so let's now add some. So this is repeatable now. If I were to kind of select all this, copy them, and move them on this key, or put it on a cycle, this will be a something we can repeat at this point because we have fulfilled the walk forward, where the right leg is forward, and then at the end, right here, right leg forward on frame 1. By the time we got to frame 25, the right leg's forward again. So it kind of repeated itself. All right, so let's take a look at the body right now. Okay, so on frame 1, like so. So when the foot is lifted, like here, which is on frame 7, okay, we're gonna have to animate a rotation on the body here so that we can kind of do that, and then select the head and kind of correct it so that there's some sort of body sway a little bit. Okay, so let me undo all that. Okay, so on frame 1, there is no rotation key for our body right here. It's only for the transform, location. Okay, so we're going to add a y-axis right here, or just simply just add a rotation. So I'm going to press I right here, then click on rotation, key the body. Okay, and then when we go to frame 7, okay, let me kind of zoom in on this one so we can see all the frames. Okay, since this is being lifted, so I'm going to slightly, just slightly animate the body, kind of go like so. All right, so oops, so on z-axis right there, about 0.3. Okay, I'm going to press I and then R, and then on frame 13 it goes back to rotating this again at Z at 0, so that it's straight. Okay, press I, then rotation, so it kind of reset it itself, and then when we go to 19, it's going to rotate slightly that way. Okay, press I, rotation, and then 25, we go to 0 right here on the z-axis, I and rotation. So now there's the body where it's kind of tilted a little bit. Okay, now let's fix the head for this one, because when it tilts, that thing needs to be straight. Okay, so we start at no rotation on frame 1. I'm going to press I and then rotation. Okay, then we go to 7. We got to compensate for the rotation of the body by straightening the head right here. So I think that's a point. Let me see here. The 0.3. We can just kind of eyeball this one. Yeah, I think it's 0.03. Oh, negative 0.03. Okay, and then I'm going to press I and rotation. Then we go to frame 13. We got to move that back to 0. So we're just kind of fixing the head here so that it's straight, it's not swaying, it's compensating for the rotation. Okay, again on 19, this will be 0.033, I think. That's what okay. So I'm going to press I, rotation, and then on frame 25, simply move it back to 0. I, rotation, so now the head, okay, so a little robotic kind of, it's always kind of flat. Okay, all right, so what else can we do here? What about the side for the head? So when we go up like so, we could give it a slight up motion, and then okay, so we could start right here on 1 where it's kind of down a little bit like so. Okay, all right, we can probably go like that. Okay, I'm going to press I, rotation. Okay, and then here it corrects itself, and then on 13, actually here we're going to put a rotation animation keyframe. Then 13, we can lower this down a little bit again, just a little bit. Rotation, and it goes like so. Then on 25, we could rotate this just slightly. I, rotation. So now we have kind of like a head kind of up and down kind of movement. So we're just kind of adding all sorts of little animations here. Okay, all right, now let's go to our knee controllers. I'm going to go to 1 right here. So right here we can probably give it a little bit more of a movement here. So at the beginning we can just kind of slightly bow them a little bit like so. Okay, just so that it's a little natural. So select those two. On frame 1, location, oh, undo, location right there. Okay, and then on frame 7, all right, we could make this one kind of go oops, knee controller, a little bit straight right here. Okay, so I'm going to press I, location. This one will slightly move it outwards like so. Press I, location, and then when it goes to 13, and go like that one and that one a little bit. Okay, select both, I, location, and then on 13, this one goes up. We move that a little bit out, location. This one we want to, I guess it's fine where it's at. Location right here, and then on 25 we go kind of open that up a bit, this one as well. Okay, select those two, press I, location. Again, we're only keyframing on 1, 7, 13, 19, and 25, even though it looks like there's a lot of thing going on. Not a whole lot is happening regarding keyframes. Okay, right here, let's take a look at the knee controller if we need to maybe, okay, like right here, I think I want to move the body back a little bit here. There we go. So I, location, just so that I don't want that knee getting kind of, all right, right here. Okay. There's that kind of drag pop right there. So we can start adding rotation on the foot. Okay, so let's select this foot right here. Okay, 1. And then when it comes to the passing, maybe we can rotate it like so. All right. Okay, so first on frame 1, select the foot, press I, rotation. When it comes to 7 right here, we're going to rotate this one like so. Okay. Let's see. Then press I, rotation. There you go. So we got that. And then here on 13, this needs to be flat. So we're talking X at 0. Okay. Press I, rotation. So let's take a look. All right. Good. Same thing on this one. Okay. Frame 13, I, rotation. And then on passing 19, we give it a rotation like so. Make sure it doesn't fall on the ground. Otherwise, we have to kind of lift it a little bit. Rotation right there, and then on 25, we get, let's see here. Okay, right here, 0 on X. Okay. I and then rotation, so we've added now the rotation for the foot. All right. All right, so now let's take a look at the body also. I think I want to lower the body just a bit on each one so that, you know, we get that kind of bounce right here. So on 1, probably want to lower this body a little bit right here. Press I and location. So I'm overwriting those, right? So on 13, a little bit lower also. Okay, and then on 19, it's fine. 25, a little bit lower. All right, just so that there's some kind of a little bit of it's robotic, but still we're adding a little bit of personality to it. All right, the arms, the elbow, definitely we need some work, right? So let's take a look at on frame 1. Definitely the elbow, okay, needs to be maybe move like that, and then the arm controller a little bit closer to the body. Okay, so selected that one. On frame 1, press I, location. All right, so let's go to 7 here. It's fine probably, and then on 13, this is when you probably need to kind of move the hand a little bit closer, the elbow a little bit out. Okay, so select those two. On 13, press I, location. So again, we're just kind of going through the process here. All right, and then here on 25, elbow probably needs to go out a bit, hand going back in, elbow, that's the elbow, goes out a little bit so that it's not kind of colliding with the body right there. Select both, press I, location. Now let's do the other arm. Okay, right here, kind of doing the same. So I'm just grabbing the elbow controller, moving it slightly away, just slightly. Select both on frame 1, press I, location. Then right here we're on 7, passing position. Probably want to move this back a little bit. Okay, press I, location. Let's see. All right, that's fine right there. And then on 13, move the hand closer, elbow out a little bit. Just a little bit right there. Select both, press I, location, right here. And then finally on 25, exact same thing. Just kind of move that out a little bit. Okay. Select both and then keyframe them by pressing I, then location. All right. So now let's take a look at our walk right here. All right, not bad. All right, so now let's animate the tail or the plug. All right, so frame 1, definitely on the side here. There's 2 things we could do with the tail. We can, since it's a bendy bone, right? We can grab it and rotate it. So we could definitely do that, okay? So let's just kind of make it behave like a tail, maybe. All right, so we can even kind of extract this. So maybe it's shorter like this, and then when he goes, let's see, when he goes to, what was that? 7, right? Higher, then it goes longer. It's kind of going like this. All right, let's do that first, okay? So frame 1, only location, okay? I'm only doing location on this one. So press I, location. Then we go to frame 7. Let's go to frame 13 first. Maybe pull it a little bit right here. No, I, location, then 25. I, location, all right? So we're just putting the passing, so which is 7. Let's kind of move it like so. Okay, and maybe like that. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe that's too much. That might be too much movement there, but let's see. All right. It's maybe too much, but anyway, I have not played this game, so I don't really know what happens with it. So maybe we'll rotate it like that. On frame 1, maybe like that one. Rotation, then on 7, we'll rotate it a little bit like that. Press I, rotation. Frame 13, I, rotation. I don't know, just kind of weird looking. I don't want it looking like a snake though. All right, here, rotation, then 25, rotation. All right, so maybe on frame 1 right here, you could make it a little bit over there, okay? Location, and then frame 13, location, frame 25. All right, just some subtle stuff. Oh, it's too busy. Well, maybe it works. But it looks like it's, since it's a bendy bone, it stretches. All right, I'm gonna leave it like that for now. We can always change that because it's just this keyframes anyway. It's 1, 7, 1, 7, and what do you call this? 13, 19, 25. So, I mean, it's an easy fix. So, all right, but for now, that's just so that we have something in there. All right, what else can we do with the animation here to give it a little bit of personality? Blinking eye, probably not too much on that one. We can always kind of add that later. We got the elbow, we got the knee. The tail needs some work for sure. We got the rotation for the head already. All right. And okay, let me fix that for the knee right here. I'm just going to delete the keyframes. Let me just kind of position it so that it's just kind of ready. Okay, I hope that's not too scorpion-y right there. So I'm going to select just that one and select all the keys for it. Delete keyframes. So now when we play, at least it's stiff like that, and then we can decide what to do. But at least it's easy enough to move since it's a bendy bone. You're only selecting this piece right here, and it did move. So when I deleted those keyframes, let's kind of move it like so. All right, just so that all right, we can take care of that later. All right, so what else here? Let's see. Just kind of looking for what we can do with the. It's not too exaggerated. Okay, we'll just kind of watch it again. All right, that's not bad. Very robotic, and that's the whole purpose. All right, then can just repeat the process over and over. We can add an animation for it to kind of start from a standing position, right? And then it'll kind of walk forward. All right, so I'm going to save this as Chibi Robo walk animation. All right, so save as. All right, so and that's how you can get started with some simple animation.